Good evening, everybody. I was hoping not to have to use the microphone tonight, but Mr. Rivera reminded me that we do have some audience members attending via Zoom. So that's the only way they'll be able to hear us. I'd like to say thank you for coming out on a Thursday night before a day off to hear a little bit more about Brandywine School District and the choice process. Choice has actually been in place since 1996 in the state of Delaware. I happened to be a teacher at that time and still remember the process that was used. Parents would line up outside the school doors because you had to submit your application to the school. And it was like the Macy's Christmas sale. They would get there literally a day or a day and a half before, camp out overnight to make sure that their application was first in line for the choice process. Thank goodness those days are over. It's all online, and it doesn't matter when you complete that choice application. It's a lottery system. So tonight we want to walk through that process with you, but before we do so, I want to introduce some members of the Brandywine School District team. And I'll start with Dr. Lisa Lawson, Assistant Superintendent, former Director of Special Programs. Dr. Nicole Warner, who now oversees Special Programs and Student Services. We've got Miss Sabrina Fitzhugh, who works in the Gifted Program at P.S. DuPont Middle School. We have Lavina Jones-Davis, who is the Director of Community Partnerships and Engagement. We have Mr. Kenny Rivera, who oversees the high school for us. We have Misha Kennedy in the back, who is actually our choice officer at district office. So if you ever have a question and you call district office, most likely it'll be Misha answering those questions for you. And we have Dr. Michelle Kutch, who is the Director of Curriculum Instruction. We have Mr. Jeff Lawson, who is Principal at Tally, and Miss Stephanie Fetter, who is a guidance counselor in the IB program and guidance counselor at Tally. So you'll see her there a lot. Did I miss anybody? So we'll be here tonight in case you have questions. Feel free to come up to us, ask us questions, and we want to make this evening very comfortable for you. If during the course of the program you have a question and you're comfortable asking it, please do so, because if you have that question, most likely somebody else in the audience has the same question. If you want to talk to us afterwards, we're happy to do that. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Rivera, and he'll walk us through.
Thank you very much. I do want to thank Ms. Danielle Pro-Hudson, who's in the back today, who put together this great presentation for us. That's very clear. She's always behind the scenes and helping navigate the technology piece for all the families on Zoom right now. So good evening. My name is Ken Rivera. I serve as the Director of Secondary Schools, and I am excited to talk to you tonight about school choice in the Brandywine School District. We have 16 great schools, and we are very proud that these schools all offer rigorous academics and a safe and nurturing environment. We offer a wide range of programs and services that will meet the needs of all of our students here, from pre-K to 12th grade, that will have every student prepared for a wide range of careers in our community, as well as the most elite colleges. So tonight we're going to do a brief overview of what school choice is and how to apply for school choice if you're interested in doing so. And then at the end, we will have a more interactive time where we have people who will specialize in different programs or schools that you may have interest in, and you'll be able to come up and engage them. And we also have computers. If you wanted to apply for choice tonight, we can even help you through that process if you desire. We had computers out in the main lobby. If you were able to sign in there, excellent. If not, you could scan the QR code that's right up here on the presentation and let us know who you are, and we can take attendance that way. And we will share a copy of this presentation with you from your sign-in. So you have this, you don't have to worry about taking notes or anything here tonight, okay? So as Superintendent Huller said, school choice is dictated by state law. So all the schools, all the districts in the state of Delaware follow the same process, the same rules, the same deadlines and timeline each and every year. State law will tell us exactly what the dates are, and we all follow that. So under Delaware law, residents of Delaware are allowed to apply to attend a different public school than is your feeder school. I would personally strongly recommend that you consider looking at your feeder school here in Brandywine as well as one consideration and one option. We're very proud of all 16, but there could be a reason why you have interest in a different school or a different program that we offer. And that's where school choice can come in. So if you're interested in a public school in Delaware other than your feeder school, here are the key dates that you need to know. The application window for applying for school choice is now open. It opened on Monday, November 7th at 8 a.m. You can already begin to apply if you want. It closes statewide on January 11th at midnight. Then between January 11th and February 20th, much closer to February 28th, you'll receive notification of your of the decision whether or not if your child was granted the choice application or not. We'll talk more about that on a future slide. And then by Friday, March 17th, families need to notify the school or the district whether or not you choose to accept that invitation or not. And as Superintendent Huller said, this is no longer first come, first serve. So whether you have already applied for school choice or you are one of those families who's going to apply January 11th, it's all equal in that sense in terms of timing, okay? The one exception is for kindergarten students. There was a note on the bottom there too that did talk about open enrollment for students entering kindergarten remains open until the first day of school. So how do you apply? Statewide, every district, every school uses the same exact website. You go to schoolchoicedelaware.org and you can apply there. You do not need to apply for your own feeder school. Many families still do, but you do not need to do that. And if you do not know what your feeder school is, we added this link here as well, so you can figure out what your feeder school is. If you're content and happy to go to your feeder school, you don't need to do anything if you're registered for kindergarten. When you apply for school choice, you're allowed to apply for up to 3 different choices within a district. The order in which you apply is very important. So the first pick is you're telling us that's your first preference. That's your top preference. So when the lottery runs, it's going to try to give you your top preference. Then you tell us your second and then tell us your third. Okay, and we'll talk more about the order on a future slide as well. So again, state law dictates different factors for consideration whether or not your choice application is granted or not. And there are 3 factors that determine whether or not your application could be accepted. One is if your child is in good standing. We'll talk about what that definition is on the next slide. Second would be building capacity. Is there room at that building for the school to even accept anymore, or for how many students can the school accept? And lastly, choice priorities. Different students will have preference over other students based on certain conditions, and we'll go over each of those. So there are 3 factors for good standing. For a student to qualify to apply for choice at a school, there are 3 factors under law that the student must be in good standing. 1 is academics, 2 is attendance, and 3 is behavior. If your child is currently attending a Brandywine School District school and you're applying for choice for next year during this open enrollment, you do not need to provide any supplemental evidence of this. We have all the records already. You don't need to do anything. If you're an out-of-district family, and there are hundreds of families, have thousands who apply for Brandywine School District choice, this information must be provided when you apply as an attachment. So we must have evidence of child's academics from the report card, attendance, and behavior. All this is spelled out in the application, what to put, and there's an attachment piece. But again, let me stress, if you are a Brandywine resident, you do not need to attach this information. We have it. The second factor is capacity. The last thing we want to do is overcrowd a school, right? So every school has a capacity number, and once the certain number of students reach close to that capacity number, choice is shut down statewide for that school. So that number is determined by each school. So certain schools have more space than others. And so some schools are already close to capacity and other schools have a lot more room to take in more students, okay? And then the last factor is what the law calls choice priorities. And so every student who applies is given a priority, and the higher the priority is, the more likely you are to get the application. So the students who fall in the first priority, the first bucket, will be the first group of students to be given an invitation to their choice. So when the lottery is run where the students who are in priority 1 will all be given a slot before people who fall into priority 2, who will be before people who fall into priority 3. So priority 1 would be siblings of students who are enrolled and are requesting a school for let me put it this way. If you're applying for a school in which you already have another child attending that school this year, and that child will be there next year, then you are priority 1. So if you have a current 8th grader and you're applying, we'll say Brandywine High School, because we're right here at Brandywine High School, and you have a current student in 9th, 10th, or 11th grade, that 8th grade child you have would be under priority 1 because you have another child already here who will remain here next school year, okay? Priority 2 applies only for students who are in kindergarten through 8th grade. So this would be for families who can provide evidence of daycare issues, and maybe the placement of a daycare makes it easier for you to attend a different school. Priority number 3 would be for students who reside in the district. So you're a Brandywine School District resident and are currently attending a school in our district, but priorities 1 and 2 didn't apply to you. Priority 4 would be students who reside in the district but are not attending a school currently in Brandywine School District. And priority 5 would be students who are not residents of the Brandywine School District. So we talked about the window to apply, which is open now. And again, it closes on January 11th. Once that closed, the lottery will run. We will ensure that all those conditions are met, that there's room in the buildings. And then the priorities will be given to each student from how you applied in the application. And then invitations will be given out via email. So when you go in and you apply, you actually put in your email address. That's how communication is given. So sometime before February 28th, you will receive an email alerting you on your acceptance or not into the schools in which you were requesting. Then you have until March 17th to notify us if you would like to accept that decision or not. After that, families will continue to be notified if you were placed on the wait list and spots become open. So things that change between March 17th and first day of school. One would be families may deny or not accept an invitation they had, which means now we go to the wait list. And so if someone said no, then now all of a sudden a spot opens up for the next person on the wait list. We may also find out there's additional room in the building. We can accept more people. So there are lots of reasons why slots can open up after March 17th. This process will go all the way until the first day, the day before the first day of school. One other note I do want to explain. If families do not receive an invitation to their first choice, you may receive an invitation to your second or third choice school. Regardless if you accept it or deny it, you will still remain on the wait list for your first choice or second choice school. So you could accept your second choice school and stay on the wait list. And at some point later in the spring, we will notify you a slot open now for your first option. Would you like it or do you not? And then you have a choice at that time as well to let us know what you would like to do. But again, that's why the priority of your schools that you put down or the order that you put is really important. Okay, so the first school is that top school that you would like or the top program that you would like. Okay. So what happens if your child does not receive an invitation to any of the choice schools? So remember that choice is not guaranteed. For those factors we had just talked about, those three factors are taken into consideration, and there may not be enough room to accept everyone who would like to attend a school. So if that happens, you're automatically enrolled into your feeder school and it can attend your feeder school. So we also recommend that you have some sort of alternative plan if you do not get into your choice school, if you do not want to attend your feeder school. A couple of reminders. These are probably two of the most common questions we get regarding choice. First is about reapplying. If you are currently a choice family at a school and will be attending the same school next year, you do not need to reapply for choice. Once you're in, you're in. So if you are a Bulldog here at Brandywine High School and you were accepted as a choice student here in 9th grade, you are a choice student. You will remain a Bulldog for your high school career. You do not have to reapply. Okay. You do need to remain in good standing. We talked about the academics, the attendance, and the behavior. Those three conditions still apply for you to remain a choice student. Families do need to reapply for choice when you are changing schools. So if you're a choice student in elementary right now and you want to be a choice, attend a different school for middle school than what's your feeder, now's the time to apply for choice. And the same thing when you're going from middle school to high school, that is the time to apply for choice. The other is transportation. Transportation is on the responsibility of the family if you are applying for choice. So please remember that. So a bus is provided for your feeder school unless you're within walking distance, but a bus is not provided for choice families. Okay, so now we want to talk about two of our more popular programs that we offer here in the Brandywine School District, and that's the Immersion program and the IB program. So the first program we're going to talk about, and we will have a table up front for Immersion to answer more specific questions about that afterwards, would be if your child is will be entering kindergarten or first grade. That's the time that you can enroll into the Spanish Immersion program. And your child will learn both English and Spanish half of the day in both languages. And they will become proficient in Spanish. And we will be offering this program throughout their up through 12th grade. Right now, the cohort is in 7th grade, and each year we continue to add a year to it as they get older. So when do you submit a choice application? You would submit a choice application if Claymont Elementary School, Lancashire Elementary School, or Maple Lane Elementary School is not your feeder. We offer the Spanish immersion program at these 3 schools. If one of these 3 schools is your feeder, then all you need to do is go and register at the school and tell them, I would like to be in the Spanish immersion program. And you will get the preference and you will get a spot there in it. I would strongly recommend, if this is your desire to be part of this program, that you register now and get one of the slots. It's a very popular program, and you want to make sure you get a spot. Then we open it up for the choice families. If you would like your child to be in the program, but your feeder is not one of these 3 schools, then you follow the directions here and you go online and you apply for choice like anywhere else. There'll be a drop down when you apply for one of the schools to say that you want to be in the immersion program rather than just regular education. So you can apply for choice to Claymont, Lancashire, and Maple Lane, just regular choice. I want my child to attend Claymont, but not be in the immersion program. And that's just regular education. Or you can apply for Claymont and apply to be in the Spanish immersion program. Okay. Again, if you are a feeder student, you do not apply through choice. You just register your child and let them know. They usually ask every family who registers, do you want your child to be part of the immersion program? And which part you say, absolutely, why not? And then we'll talk about middle school. So when do you submit an application for choice for middle school? You don't. If your child is in the immersion program, they can automatically remain in the program. The program will be hosted by Tally Middle School. Again, right now it's in 6th and 7th grade. Next year, we'll have a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade group there. So if you are currently in 5th grade at Lancashire, Maple Lane, or Claymont in the immersion program, you can automatically attend the Spanish immersion program at Tally Middle School. We will have a form for you to fill out. We will take care of the choice piece for you. Because you are in the program, you can remain in the program. Families not in the immersion program cannot join the immersion program after 1st grade. You can enter only in kindergarten and 1st grade. After that point, the student's Spanish is too far advanced for anyone who hasn't been in the class to join. And I am more than happy to talk to any family about the immersion program. I'm proudly have 4 students in the program right now. And I was able to help with a few people here develop the middle school program at Tally when I was the principal there. And Miss Lavina Jones-Davis, who also oversees the immersion program, will be here at a table to answer questions regarding the Spanish immersion program as well. The next program is the IB program, another very extremely popular program we have here in the district. Again, this is a program being a former principal of a building here and my own child being in one of the schools. I'm happy to talk a lot more about what IB is afterwards if you want. We'll have a table here with Ms. Fetter and Mr. Lawson will be able to talk to you about this. So here with IB, we're looking at an advanced academic curriculum, either at Tally or Mount Pleasant High School, that really looks at creating global citizenship, a well-rounded student who are critical thinkers, but also become compassionate members of society. So this application is different. We offer the program at Tally and Mount Pleasant High School, and regardless of your feeder, everyone must apply for the program through the Choice website. So let me say it this way. If you are a resident or if Tally is your feeder or Mount Pleasant is your feeder, you still have to go onto this Choice website because the application is on this website. It used to be a paper pencil application that was very long and cumbersome for families. We were able to make it digital a couple of years ago, and it was a much smoother, faster process for families to just do the whole application right here. And if you are applying for choice because Tally or Mount isn't your feeder, doing it right here on the choice website takes care of both at the exact same time. The application is the choice application. The choice application is the IB application. So it's one and the same. Okay. So the IB programs, both at Tally and Mount, already had their information night, but their information is also on their website. Check it out. You can come up and talk to us today, or you can always email the program contacts or school principals as well. All the information is on their school website. And let me also add, you can be a member of both Immersion and IB at Tally Middle School. Okay, another opportunity that's pretty popular here in our district for students who are very academically focused is our gifted services. It's not a program, but these are services we provide for our truly remarkable, highly academic level students. So we house this at 3 different buildings from kindergarten and 3rd grade. This is out Mount Pleasant Elementary School. From 4th to 5th, this is at Claymont. And then 6th, 7th, and 8th, we have this at PS DuPont. This is not done through choice. There's not an application. This will be done through a referral. And if you're interested, we have a couple of contacts here, but we also have Sabrina Fitzhugh, who's a gifted teacher at PS, who will be at a table here. There's also going to be a meeting on Thursday, November 17th at 6 o'clock at PS DuPont to talk more specifically about gifted education services for middle schools. And so I'll have this flyer. And I think Sabrina Ms. Fitzhugh brought some as well, some pamphlets. So if you're interested in learning about exactly what is gift and how is it different and how do you go about making a referral, either having your teacher or you make a referral for your child, we can talk. We'll be more than happy to talk to you about that tonight as well. Okay, so in wrapping up, if there is a program or a school that you are highly interested in, or you just have questions, or you're unsure of, maybe it's your own feeder school, I strongly suggest that you reach out to that school. Email the principal, call the principal. You can do a building tour. A lot of students shadow, spend a day shadowing another student at the school to get a sense whether or not this is what they would like to do. We highly encourage all that, okay? If you have questions about the choice process anytime throughout the year, we do have a choice email. It does go to Miss Kennedy, wherever she went. Oh, she's in the back right there. So if you either call or email, you will get Miss Kennedy, who will walk you through. Please ask us any question, whether it's about the process or about any of the amazing opportunities of programs or services we have here. We want you to know, we want you to come and experience what we have to offer. So take advantage of it for sure. So lastly, this is the time to be interactive. Okay. So did you want to do the, okay. Yep. So we are going to have a few tables set up here, and we'll have both our superintendent and assistant superintendent up here if you would have questions for them. If you have questions more specifically about our curriculum, our pathways, our career and technical education, our STEM, our robotics, all those amazing things that we offer, Dr. Kutch will be up here to talk to you about that. We talked about the Spanish immersion program with Ms. D. I will be up here with Mr. Lawson and Ms. Fetter, talk about IB. Ms. Fitzhugh will be here for gifted, and Ms. Kennedy will be here to talk to you about any questions you have regarding choice at all. We also have some computers if you would like to get started tonight. We can help with that. And before we finish, I'm going to introduce Dr. Lawson.
Thanks for your attention and for listening. I just wanted to close before we, while folks transition up to their table, so you guys can come on and transition up to your table. I just wanted to share with you that I joined this district in 2015, and neither of my children, I don't live in this district. But once I joined in 2015, I thought, what a great bunch of schools. What a great set of programs. So I choiced my daughter here. She went through Tally Middle School and Mount Pleasant High School, just graduated in June. She has transitioned very well to a 4-year university. And she said to me, yeah, it's pretty easy. What's not much harder than high school. So just sharing with you that my experience was excellent here. I didn't have to choice my children here. I work here. They were doing fine in other districts, but just wanted to make sure that you knew that people that work here actually move and change their children to be here. I love the teachers here. I love the staff here. It's a very caring community. This community supports these schools, and that means a lot to me. So I just wanted to share my story. Folks are up here. Please feel free to mill around, ask questions. There are computers. And again, thank you so much for your attention and your time this evening. Oh, yes. And I would be remiss if we didn't thank all of our members on Zoom for joining us tonight. Thank you for your attention, for listening. And again, any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you.